a mother's story of love, diagnosis, and unconditional acceptance. The journey of 1,000 steps. Hi, my name is Sharifa. I was once a family physician dedicating a decade of my life to a career in military medicine. Today, I am a full-time mother to a beautiful, extraordinary boy named Zayan. As a doctor, I thought I knew a lot about autism, but nothing prepares you for the hands-on experience of raising a neurodiverse child. My journey with Zayan has been the most profound experience of my life, a path that has taught me more than any medical textbook ever could. Raising a child on the autism spectrum is an emotional roller coaster, one filled with challenges that test your limits and joys that redefine your understanding of love. This is our story, a journey of 1,000 steps that began with a fragile welcome and led to a world of unconditional acceptance. The emergency arrival. Zayan's entry into this world was a trial by fire. At just 26 weeks, severe preeclampsia threatened both our lives, forcing an emergency cesarean section. I'll never forget the surreal feeling of hearing his tiny, fragile cry for the first time, a sound that was both a miracle and a terrifying reminder of how vulnerable he was. He weighed only 780 grams, a weight so small it was hard to imagine how such a delicate being could survive. He was a fighter from his very first breath. Life in the NICU. For the next 4 months, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, NICU, was our world. It was a place of beeping machines, sterile air, and constant uncertainty. This period was an eternity of fear and hope, and its trauma remains a part of us. Every year on September 30th, our family observes Neonatal Intensive Care Awareness Day, a day to honor the little fighters and reflect on our own journey. The constant hum of machines. The environment was a sterile symphony of beeps and alarms, a constant reminder of the life and death battle my son was fighting. The weight of consent. As a physician, I understood the clinical necessity of procedures, but as a mother, my heart ached every time I had to sign a consent form for my 780-gram son, for a lumbar puncture, for multiple blood transfusions. Each signature felt like a surrender to forces beyond my control. A cycle of infections. He endured recurring infections one after another, leading to seemingly endless rounds of antibiotics. Each one felt like a setback, a new mountain to climb. Small victories. Amidst the fear, there were moments of pure joy I clung to. The day he held my finger for the first time or the first hint of a smile were monumental victories that gave me the strength to sit by his incubator, whispering prayers that we were one step closer to home. The day we came home, after nearly 4 long months, the day we had prayed for finally arrived. I carried Zayan, now a healthier 1.8 kilograms, out of the hospital, ready to begin our life at home. The joy was immense, but so was the fear. On our very first day home, I had a panic attack. The weight of responsibility was overwhelming. Suddenly, there were no nurses or machines to rely on. It was just me and this incredibly fragile life. I was terrified of making a mistake. Every minute I was checking on his breathing, watching the rise and fall of his tiny chest. Leaving the hospital was the end of one battle, but it was also the beginning of a whole new set of challenges that would shape our early years together. Navigating new motherhood. The initial days at home were a haze of vigilance and anxiety. I knew how crucial breast milk was for Zayan, given his extreme prematurity, but my milk supply was low. The breastfeeding journey was emotionally draining. In my desperation, my sister, who was planning to stop breastfeeding her 2-year-old, suggested breast milk donations. I felt both grateful and burdened by the situation. At 7 months, I transitioned him to formula, my heart heavy with a sense of disappointment. Yet, through it all, there were moments of grace. My sister was there to help with his first bath, her steady hands guiding me through my nerves. Slowly, Zayan began to flourish, his cheeks growing plump and his eyes sparkling with life. A thriving career before Zayan, my career in military medicine was a core part of my identity. I joined the military in 2011 and loved my work deeply, thriving on the discipline, loyalty, and sense of community I found within the armed forces. My patients were fellow soldiers and their families, and the bond we shared was powerful. Balancing this demanding career with motherhood was a challenge, but with the help of a full-time nanny, I managed. During the COVID-19 lockdown, when childcare centers closed, I even brought Zayan to work with me, where paramedics cared for him in a special room while I tended to my duties. The first 2 years of joy. Those first 2 years with Zayan were filled with pure, unadulterated joy. Watching him grow healthy and full of life was a daily miracle. I vividly remember weaning him, his tiny hands eagerly reaching for the spoon of mashed fruits. I cherished every milestone, seeing each one as a testament to his resilience. Because he was born so prematurely, I naturally assumed he would have some developmental delays, reassuring myself that he just needed more time to catch up. I treasured this period of pure joy, never suspecting that the same resilience I admired would soon be tested by challenges I couldn't yet name. A mother's instinct. The unsettling signs. As Zayan approached the age of 4, my mother's intuition began to sound an alarm I could no longer ignore. My physician's mind tried to rationalize, running through differential diagnoses related to his prematurity, but my heart felt something fundamentally different. The developmental differences were distinct patterns, pointing to a different way of experiencing the world. The patterns emerge. Rigid routines. Zayan's play was not imaginative. He would line up his toys in perfect, unyielding rows for hours. This rigidity extended to our daily life. We had to take the exact same route to work every single day, or it would trigger a complete meltdown. Yet, it also amazed me that he memorized every road we took. I was in awe of his remarkable memory. Sensory overload. The world often seemed too loud, too bright, too much for him. He would cover his ears as if in pain from everyday sounds. Brushing his teeth became a dreaded battle. It wasn't simple resistance but pure distress that left him screaming and me feeling powerless. The decay that followed was a painful reminder of this daily struggle. Communication gaps. He didn't speak a single word. His communication came in the form of meltdowns, sudden, intense storms of frustration. Each meltdown broke me a little more. It's like trying to piece together a puzzle without all the pieces. He avoided eye contact, and at the playground he remained apart, lost in his own world. Eating challenges. Mealtimes were an ordeal, a heartbreaking contrast to his earlier eagerness for new foods. He refused all solid foods, insisting on drinking milk from a bottle. On the rare occasion I could get food into his mouth, he would hold it there, refusing to swallow. Destruction, then came the destruction. He broke everything, the TV, phones, tablets. It wasn't anger, I could see that. He didn't mean to, but the wreckage piled up around me, broken objects, broken moments, and pieces of my heart. Acknowledging the truth. The moment of truth came in 2020 during a mandatory COVID-19 quarantine. Isolated at home with Zayan, I had uninterrupted time to simply observe. Without the distractions of work and daily routines, I could no longer attribute his behaviors to prematurity. I had to confront the reality that this was something different. With this dawning certainty, I knew my next step was to stop guessing and start seeking answers. The diagnosis that set us free. We had a routine follow-up appointment at Hospital Ampang, but this time felt different. I walked in prepared to voice the suspicion that had been growing for months. We saw a senior medical officer, and I didn't waste any time. "I think my son is autistic," I said bluntly. Then I listed every behavior I had meticulously observed: the lining up of toys, the sensory issues, the lack of speech, the tantrums, the refusal of solid food. I could see the recognition in her eyes as I spoke. A surprising relief. The doctor acted quickly. Within 10 minutes, she had filled out the form for a disability card. That same week, his official card arrived. As a doctor, I had delivered difficult news many times, but my training never prepared me for the overwhelming wave of relief that washed over me as a mother receiving it. The diagnosis wasn't a tragedy, it was a key. It unlocked the door to understanding and freed me from the burden of uncertainty. For the first time, I felt empowered. I finally knew what we were facing, and now I could begin to help my son in the ways he truly needed. The world's reaction. While the diagnosis felt liberating for me, it was a difficult reality for others to accept. In truth, I rarely asked for help. My family is dismissive by nature. We've always handled things on our own, focused on our own families. I guess in some ways that's how we were taught to cope, alone. My husband struggled with the news from a distance, felt it was too soon for a label. It was painful, but understood his need for time to process. My parents assured me he would outgrow it and that he was too smart to be autistic. I felt dismissed, as their well-meaning words denied the daily challenges Zayan and I faced. Others made comments like he doesn't look autistic or avoided the topic. I longed for understanding. Embracing Zayan's world. In 2021, after a decade of service, my contract with the Malaysian Armed Forces ended. I was burned out from juggling the pandemic, Zayan's diagnosis, and a long-distance marriage. I knew Zayan needed both of his parents, so I made the hardest decision of my life. I left the career I loved and moved to the United States to be with my husband. I grieved deeply for the life I left behind, my work, my community, my second family in the military. But alongside the grief was a powerful sense of hope. I was finally ready to build a new life, one centered entirely around my family and Zayan's needs. Becoming the CEO of my child. This journey has transformed not just my life, but my entire philosophy on parenting. I have become a lifelong learner and a detective mom, piecing together every gesture to understand his world. These are the core principles that guide me. 1. Radical acceptance. My most important lesson has been to accept Zayan exactly as he is, without trying to fix him. His autism is part of his unique identity, and my role is to love and understand him, not change him. 2. Prioritizing self-care. I quickly learned that I cannot pour from an empty cup. To be the calm, patient, and steady mother Zayan needs, I must first care for my own physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. 3. Letting go of judgments. I no longer worry about what others think. I don't feel the need to explain Zayan's behaviors or apologize for his uniqueness. He is perfect as he is, and that is all that matters. 4. Letting my son be my teacher. Instead of always trying to lead Zayan, I have learned to follow him. By entering his world, learning to play in his way, and seeing life from his perspective, I have received my most profound education. He is my greatest teacher. My transformation from physician to full-time mother has been a journey from my head to my heart, leading me to a love for my son that is deeper and more unconditional than I ever imagined. Ultimately, this journey is not about autism, it is about love. It is about a boy who fought his way into this world and continues to teach me what it means to be brave, resilient, and true to yourself. My love for him is best expressed in a letter I wrote to him from the bottom of my heart. My dearest Zayan, as I sit down to write this letter, my heart overflows with love and pride for you. From the moment you came into my life, you have been a source of unending joy and wonder. Your unique perspective, your beautiful spirit, and your boundless potential inspire me every day. Zayan, you see the world in ways that many cannot. Your attention to detail, your ability to find joy in the smallest things, and your unwavering honesty are gifts that I cherish deeply. You have taught me to slow down, to appreciate the simple moments, and to see the beauty in the unexpected. I know that sometimes the world feels overwhelming and challenging. There are moments when communication is difficult and understanding feels out of reach. But I want you to know that I am always here for you, ready to support and love you unconditionally. Your feelings, your thoughts, and your needs are always important to me. Every day you amaze me with your strength and resilience. The way you face each day with courage and determination fills me with admiration. Your laughter is the sweetest sound, and your smile lights up my life. You have a heart full of kindness and a mind full of brilliance. I am so proud of the person you are and the person you are becoming. You have so much to offer this world, and I believe in you. Your journey may be different from others, but it is uniquely yours, and I am honored to walk it with you. Zayan, always remember that you are loved just as you are. You are perfect in your uniqueness, and you are enough. Your presence in my life is a precious gift, and I am grateful for every moment we share. With all my love, Mommy.